America just bombed Venezuela after sending loads of warships there over the last week. And in fact, these are the first ever airstrikes against the cartels which are bringing drugs into the US. Last night, for the first time, the US announced they bombed a small Venezuelan boat that was carrying illegal substances and was bringing them into the US illegally. The US President Trump said, quote, "Let this serve as a warning to anybody thinking about bringing drugs into the United States. Beware." Now, Venezuela is yet to respond to this, but if you've watched my videos over the last few weeks, you would know that the tensions between the US and Venezuela are skyrocketing really quickly. And in fact, a few days ago, Venezuela sent 20,000 troops to the border with Colombia, closer to the US. And at the same time, the Venezuelan president mobilized around 5 million troops and told them to get ready for war. Now, the US Secretary of State released a much more detailed statement about what these strikes involved. And he said, quote, "Today, the US military conducted a lethal strike in the southern Caribbean against a drug vessel which had departed from Venezuela and was being operated by a designated narco-terrorist organization." Now, in this strike, the US said they killed 11 people that were on board the boat, and at the same time, they said no US soldiers were injured. They've usually got to say that, but to be fair, it's kind of obvious because this was an airstrike. To be fair though, this is probably quite a good thing for the US. It's the first time the US has ever carried out airstrikes onto these cartels, and it's definitely possible that it could work, and it could scare them off from doing this in the future. Of course though, as usual, you can leave me a follow for some more global news like this.